Misinformation, sometimes, which is coming from everybody. It's, no one has a monopoly on it. Or just power.
You say nobody
it's just
has a monopoly on it. Come on. That's some moral relativism right there.
I said nobody has a monopoly.
You said nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire. He's got that monopoly up here. I mean, he's got more money than us. A lot more money than us. So,
I don't get the...
You don't get it?
I don't know what point you're making. The right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody. It would be like if we stopped Henry Ford from making the car.
Right. The radical left believes they are entitled to the presidency, and their obsession with Trump has reached new heights. It's exhausting for everyone. Recently, Bill Maher called out MSNBC's Joe Scarborough for his ridiculous claims, and we've got all the facts to break it down for you. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss our latest updates. Now, let's get into it.
The rubber meets the road, because this is important. He wanted to, this week, he's suing the 12-member commission, the California Coastal Commission. He launches his rockets from Vandenberg Space Force Base. He used to call it Air Force Base, but I guess now we're into Space Force time. He wanted the proposal to expand the number of launches. Okay, again, one of the most impressive companies, an American company. He wants a little more, give it to him. No. The commission, some bureaucrat, said, nope, and this is the reason why. Commissioner Carol Hart saying, we're dealing with a company, the head of which has aggressively injected himself into the presidential race and made it clear what his point of view is. Yes, because he lives in America, and he can do that.
The hypocrisy from the left is off the charts. Today, we're talking about Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant innovators of our time. From electric cars and space travel to AI and brain, implants. He's pushing humanity forward. He's not working for Democrats or Republicans. He's working for everyone. Yet, because of his political views, he's become a target. Enter the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, run by bureaucrats who probably have Obama's picture hanging in their offices. Musk requested approval to launch more rockets, something that directly benefits America's technological future. But suddenly, there's red tape. Suddenly, there are delays. Suddenly, there are concerns. Why? Because he dared to support Donald Trump. That's right, his real crime wasn't breaking regulations, it was thinking the wrong way. Bill Maher, he saw right through it. Musk is an American like anyone else, and he has the same right to push for innovation. But here's the bigger question. Why did Musk, a lifelong Democrat, decide to switch sides? Because the so-called party of science and progress has transformed into the party of wokeness, censorship, and cancel culture. And let's be real, Elon Musk doesn't take orders.
Right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody. It would be like if we stopped Henry Ford from making the cars because we didn't like what
but can you take one anecdotal example? One idiot, right? Truly an idiot to stop.
This is not an idiot. This is someone with power.
An idiot with power is not unusual.
Okay, but that's...
Right.
Oh, but having power matters.
Once again, Bill Maher isn't. Wrong. The left is heading down a dangerous path when it comes to free speech. Their obsession with controlling, censoring, and policing speech isn't just concerning. It's flat-out authoritarian. They don't want discussion, they don't want debate, they want obedience. That's exactly why Elon Musk has become public. Enemy number one, he's not just another billionaire, he's a billionaire who refuses to fall in line. He bought Twitter and shattered their control over the narrative. For years, the right was accused of being anti-free speech. But now, it's the modern left that's embracing censorship at a level that would have the founding fathers rolling in their graves. These were men who fought against tyranny and government overreach, only for today's so-called progressives to champion the very thing America was built to resist. Let's be clear, censorship isn't progress. Silencing dissent isn't democracy. And when even a lifelong liberal like Bill Maher is calling them out, you know they've gone way too far. But here's where things get really interesting.
misinformation, sometimes which is coming from everybody. It's, no one has a monopoly on it. Or just power.
You're saying nobody
It's just
has a monopoly on it. Come on. That's some moral relativism right there.
I said nobody has a monopoly.
You said nobody has a monopoly on it, but that's like saying nobody has a monopoly on being a billionaire. He's got that monopoly up here. I mean, he's got more money than us, a lot more money than us. So,
I don't get the.
You don't get it?
I don't know what point you're making.
I'm still trying to figure out what Joe Scarborough's argument even was, if he had one. But am I surprised? Not at all. This is the woke left's entire playbook. Talk in circles, throw out flashy phrases, and hope no one notices the contradictions. So what's Scarborough's big claim? That the right has a monopoly on disinformation. Bold statement. But when Bill Maher challenged him, his groundbreaking example was Mark Cuban. Yes, Mark Cuban. Sure, Cuban was the wealthiest person on that panel, but does that somehow make him the ultimate authority on truth? America has plenty of billionaires, so what exactly was Scarborough trying to prove? Like Maher, I have no clue. Let's be real, disinformation exists everywhere. No party, no ideology, and no media outlet is squeaky clean. But claiming your side is pure and the other is drowning in lies. That's not just dishonest, it's peak hypocrisy. And if there's one thing Scarborough excels at, it's exactly that.
It's both sides, isn't it?
Well,
there is no doubt.
There's no misinformation.
There's some disinformation from the left, but comparing it to what Donald Trump spews out every day, every week, comparing it to what Elon Musk is spewing out, unfortunately, on X, you sound like Brett Stevens right now, with all due respect. It's a joke. That's a real-time.
And you sound like him, who looks like Rachel Maddow.
This is hypocrisy at its finest. MSNBC, the self-proclaimed beacon of truth, wants you to believe that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the biggest sources of disinformation. Because, of course, the woke media never lies, right? Remember when they swore Hunter Biden's laptop was just Russian disinformation? They pushed that story so hard, you'd think they had the FBI on speed dial. Turns out, it was real. But by the time they admitted it, the damage was done, and the truth was buried under layers of media spin. Then there was the Steele dossier, their so-called holy grail of Trump-Russia collusion. They swore by it, dissected it, and plastered it all over primetime news. Then it fell apart. Debunked. Did MSNBC apologize? Of course not. They just moved on to the next narrative. Then, suddenly, intelligence agencies started taking it seriously, and MSNBC conveniently forgot they ever dismissed it. But sure, tell me again how only Trump and Musk spread disinformation, while we have countless examples of MSNBC doing the exact same thing. And now, here we go again. Their latest, MSNBC anchor John Heilemann tried pushing the same tired narrative until Russell Brand called him out on the spot.
I've not known you long, but I love you already. But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliate owners in BlackRock and Vanguard. And unless we start to embrace, and also, mate, like just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspective.
This Trump, and now possibly Elon Musk, derangement syndrome isn't just random hysteria. It's a well-coordinated system designed to turn them into public enemy number one. The goal? Strip them of credibility, paint them as villains, and convince the public they're dangerous. Remember when Musk made a simple hand gesture and the media instantly twisted it into a Nazi salute? No context, no benefit of the doubt. Just instant manufactured outrage. Or how about the endless Trump-Hitler comparisons? Every speech, every policy, every move, some journalist was right there screaming, "This is how Hitler started." This isn't journalism, it's a strategy. The woke media isn't just reporting the news, they're running a full-blown propaganda campaign. They cherry-pick, distort, and outright fabricate narratives to keep Trump and Musk in a never-ending public trial. And if the facts don't fit, they just move the goalpost. The mission is simple: derail the MAGA movement, silence opposition, and push their political agenda. Truth be damned.
I also think at the same time, there is a message of what I would call like common sense, patriotic pluralism. Yeah. That is a majority message, which is like, if some father and mother have health care for their kid lined up who's trans, just stay the fuck out of their business. And let them make that decision. That's their decision to make. And you don't have to make that for your family. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your family.
But the argument is whether the child should make the decision.
But the child is never making the decision. The parents are always making the decision. Parents consent to medical care.
Well, here in California, you're allowed to hide it from the parents if the kid is.
Yes.
Thank you, one person who knows that.
But I mean,
somebody knows that is the case.
Here's yet another prime example of media disinformation. It's no secret, in fact, it's well documented, that some schools have actively concealed students' gender transitions from their parents. Whistleblowers have come forward, lawsuits have been filed, the evidence is out there. But here comes Chris Hayes of MSNBC, looking straight into the camera and telling us this is just a right-wing conspiracy. And we're supposed to believe MSNBC isn't biased? Really? Meanwhile, Joe Scarborough and his crew sit there with smug grins, pretending their network is the gold standard of truth, all while ignoring real reports, dismissing parents' concerns, and gaslighting anyone who dares question their narrative. This is how the game works. The media doesn't just lie, they rewrite reality. If the facts don't fit their agenda, they simply declare them false. And if you challenge them, you're instantly labeled a bigot, a conspiracy theorist, or worse. That's the playbook, and they run it every single time. But here's the twist. People are catching on. More and more are calling MSNBC out for their blatant bias. Watch this.